Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News with me, Keturah King. My next guest, Ngozi Omambala, is an artist and event manager with a keen interest in politics, who founded her company Loud and Proud in 1996. This was during her tenure as a senior marketing and promotions manager of Pride magazine in the UK. Loud and Proud went independent as an event production, marketing and promotions company, and her comprehensive experience in client network within the events, music and entertainment industries has played a fundamental role and continues to assist in the fast growth of the African entertainment scene, especially now that all eyes are on Africa. Join me in welcoming Ngozi Omambala to the morning show.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here.
I watch this on TV at home and it's so nice to be here. How exciting.
Oh,
thank you for having me.
So I hope you guys heard that. She said she watches the show every day.
I do, really.
So we are going to be focusing on, because you're a serial entrepreneur and you're doing incredibly well in your respective ventures.
Thank
you have this avid interest in politics, particularly Nigerian politics, which I find interesting because you were born and raised in the UK. So where exactly did it develop from? And then what did you even find the move back to Nigeria like? Because a lot of people have told me about their culture shock that they experienced. What was it like for you?
Well, I've always been, my parents raised us. When we were much younger, we would always come to Nigeria for Christmas. So in a way, Nigeria was ingrained in us. But it was still a culture shock. At the time, there was nobody coming back. And in fact, I think everybody thought I was crazy. They were like, what the hell are you doing coming back to Nigeria when, you're leaving the UK, when I think people are going the other way, right? From Nigeria too. But, I've always been proudly Nigerian and have always had a care for, what's going on and people.
Yeah.
People is politics.
Absolutely.
And so I think the two go hand in hand, and that's where it all started. But yes, it was a challenge coming over, but I had a lot of help and with a lot of determination. I think in Nigeria, you've got to be determined and have, like a bit of a thick skin. But yeah, the entertainment music scene in Nigeria now is exploding, thanks to certain artists that are doing so well. And I'm glad to see that.
And so you work with some of the most popular artists, not only in Nigeria, but across the continent, from Ice Prince to Wale Ojo to Omotola Jalade Akande. There we go.
She'll get you for doing that. Got to pronounce it right.
Sorry, Omotola. But, these are people who are doing so well in their chosen career paths. And you are just elevating their brands. How do you measure the success of your company, since it's so impingent upon other people's personal success?
Well, you know what it is? It's all about characters. And at the end of the day, I think if you gel and you've got to connect with a certain personality, whether they be in the music or in the acting, in Nollywood, or even in politics, so to speak, because there is a common thread.
Absolutely.
So with Omotola, that she's an ambassador for the One campaign.
Yes.
She's doing great things for women. She's an outspoken philanthropist as well.
She's United Nations as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So we had a connection. She also sings.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Multi-talented woman, and the same goes with somebody like Wale Ojo. He's an actor. He's got, political views as well. But at the same time, he's also a performer. So when we all met and worked together, there was that common thread, and it was pretty easy to connect with them all.
Right, I love that. So for those of our viewers at home that are sitting down wondering how they can, get into the same space that you're in, what would you say the top 3 skills that are required for your line of business are?
Well, I think first and foremost, business is never easy. It has swings and roundabouts, ups and downs. And, if you're not really determined or you don't have, I think the word is passion. You've got to have passion about what you're doing, because, you also know in the career that you're in that, there's a lot of competition for one. And, I think everybody has to have their own unique kind of character in certain ways. We all work together, but at the same time, you've got to have drive. So I think that's number 1, passion. Secondly, perseverance, and patience, definitely in this industry.
I love that. So the 3 Ps. You must remember the 3 Ps: passion, perseverance, and patience.
Correct.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
I'm learning. So if you were to sort of walk us through a typical day in your life, in terms of being approached by clients, have you ever had a particularly difficult one? You don't have to mention any names, but is there a reason? Is there something that you could do behaviorally that could get you turned down from prospective management?
Well, I think people who know me know that I'm quite outspoken and I don't suffer fools gladly. But at the same time, you know, I respect everybody. So I'm very open and I'll explain to a person diplomatically exactly how I feel. Professionalism is key, and I like to work with, you know, professionals. So at the same time, I think that may answer your question, that, you know, professionalism is key. Leave it at that.
All right. Now, we just spoke with Obadokun Thompson, who is, of course, working on the Cocoa Festival for this year, and you've done some work with the company as well. Yes. What do you make of the cocoa production scene in Nigeria?
Well, you know, when His Royal Majesty Obadokun came to me and we spoke about the festival, I thought it was a fantastic initiative. And, you know, I'm all for indigenous manufacturing and, you know, making things at home and exporting it to the world, as we do with music.
Yes.
You know, people like, for instance, Wizkid is doing an amazing job. Yes. Davido's doing an amazing job. They're exporting our music to the world. And it's no different to products manufacturing. The same concept applies.
So
when he actually approached me and I said, you know, this is fantastic because don't we all love chocolate now?
Say that again.
Precisely. And I just thought, you know, he's creating like a mentoring platform, particularly for women.
Yes.
He's creating a generation of female farmers. Very unknown.
That is amazing.
Absolutely.
That is unheard of, even.
And I'm a big, you know, supporter of females in the industry and females doing unique things and elevating us to, you know, to do well and becoming self-sufficient and independent. So when he approached me, I said, you know what? Any help or support you need, I will be there. Be it, you know, from the music side or even like, you know, giving it a media platform or awareness. Yes. So, and I think it's doing really well. So we did that. We're on our second year now, and I think it's going to be bigger and better. The chocolate tastes amazing, absolutely amazing. Adeze, who's the CEO of the corporation, she'll vouch for it as well. And she's doing amazing work, going around the world, you know, like supporting and profiling the work that they're doing in Osun State.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Now, in terms of the way outsiders view, let's start with something as local as Osun State, and then, you know, Nigeria as a whole, and then Africa. What would you say the biggest misconception that you've come across has been made about Africa, and why?
Well, you know, it's the usual stereotypes, you know, that in a way, I mean, I don't really want to home in on this. I'd like to really focus on the positives because, you know, what we have to do is obviously try and dispel those stereotypes and those negatives. And I think the way we can do that is by doing, you know, initiatives like His Royal Majesty is doing in Osun State, the work that Omotola is doing. I mean, these are people who are influencers.
Absolutely.
And influencers affect, you know, stereotypes, the way we see things, first impressions. So in a way, I think, you know, work hard, persevere, excel, seek perfection, and it says it all.
I love that. So what I'm hearing you say is leadership in all capacities are the ones to change the narrative of Africa. So whether that is being a president or being a governor or being a king or being me. Yes.
Being you, yes. And you're very good at what you do too, Keturah. We know that. And, you know, you've got a unique character. Excellent personality. It's true. That's why you're here.
So what would you say the similarities between those different forms of leadership are? So the similarities between, let's say, a celebrity that you work with on a daily basis and then the monarchy that you also work with?
You know what? I think, you know, this is a layered approach here because what you're finding is these influencers are now entering into political positions where they're using their influence for better good. Absolutely. You're seeing it with you're seeing a wave now of artists that are entering politics.
Yes, there was an actor the other day that said that he was about to contest for his state.
For me, you know, people may criticize. I don't think it's a bad thing. At the end of the day, you know, if you've excelled in the position that you're in and you've got influence and you're using your influence for better good, why not? There's a younger generation coming through now, and I think, you know, the older politicians are going to make way for this younger generation. 60% of Nigeria's 180, I think it's even rising, 180 million population are under 25.
Yes.
Now those stats are crazy. So we have to make way and we have to enable and mobilize ourselves for that generation. It's the next generation, it's our future. So it's going to happen. It can't be stopped, whether it's now or in the next few years. It is inevitable.
Africa is the new wave.
Absolutely.
So you
absolutely.
are actually the founder of NMO Management, as well as Loud and Proud, as well as the GBT auditions. So for those of our viewers that are interested in participating in any of the many fantastic things that you organise, how can they do so via social media?
Okay, I just want to talk quickly about the GBT because I'm very passionate about that. It's a platform that I created for young aspiring talent. And when I came to Nigeria, it was very difficult because, you know, one of the challenges that I didn't actually mention was people were very, very, very protective of their contacts. Now, I find there's so much talent in Nigeria. And the young folk, they may be talented, but if they haven't got the connects, how the hell are they supposed to, progress?
Yeah.
So the GBT is a platform I created for up-and-coming talent. They can come, they can audition, there's a panel of judges. The winner performs on my more established platforms, giving them an opportunity. So
Amazing.
Yes.
So social media handles, what are they?
Okay, we have @Loud and Proud Live, which is Loud N for November, PROUD LIVE.
Okay.
We have the GBT auditions, and the final one is my own Caramel Chick NG.
Ooh.
So you can get us all on that, or the website, which is www.loudandproudlive.com.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for joining me, Ngozi. I will see you in a moment.
You will. Thank you so much for having me.
Time now for a short break on the morning show. Stay tuned because when we return, it's time for Our Take.